With my first comparison, I wanted to compare the first individual learning blog to all the other individual learning blogs that I did last semester. Starting this semester, on January 25th was when I did my first individual learning blog, and here I wanted to be more creative by using pictures as well, because last semester I didn't really use pictures and I just typed away, and if I would go through my individual learning blog, I wouldn't be much of a visual person or put more creativity in it. So this is how I evolved from last semester, putting more creativity in it and writing a little more. And as January went on, I began to write less. Here's one example from January 31. And here you can see that I wrote very little, but I have like a bigger picture. And the second paragraph, again, it's very little and with a bigger picture. This is where I began not to better my individual learning blogs, I began to become even worse. And here again, little paragraphs with big pictures. But then February. With February, I began to write more, and I wanted to evolve more and being more detailed, and I think I achieved that. First, starting with the blog Digital Literacy and Family for February 14th. Here is when I started to make it more personal, and noticing that when I make it more personal, I tend to write more and be more detailed. And here I began to be more detailed in describing the different kinds of digital devices that each of my family members use and how they use them. And even as a comment by Brianna said, it was very detailed, which I tried to do, and that's how I think I evolved, by being more detailed. And still being creative, but having smaller pictures and not overwhelming all the blog by just having really big pictures and small paragraphs. Here I had more paragraphs and bigger paragraphs with small pictures. And with another blog that's up here, the blog for Communities and the Digital World for February 27th. I also evolved here because I talked about even more. I wanted to describe the different communities that I'm part of and how they evolved and helped me have more, be more digitally literate. And I wanted to be more detailed here, and I achieved that as well, because I showed all the different communities and how each of them helped me be more digitally literate or introduce me to new digital devices as well. And here again, Isabel put that I explained it and went into detail of each of my communities, which was again a goal, and that's how I evolved from even February, that I wrote so little and just getting to the point. And even these other individual learning blogs have much more paragraphs and much more detail than the ones I did in February. I think I evolved in a more positive way by still like being creative compared to last semester. And then compared to February, I began writing a lot more. And again, after February, I began to be more detailed about what I want to work on and what I have in my individual learning blog. And something that isn't really seen, but how I evolved in writing my individual learning blogs, I take more time in them. I don't just rush through them now, because before I would just be like, okay, he just wants to answer this, so I'm going to answer it. No, now I actually think about what I want to write and actually just proofread and have my own spin to it as well.